All right, we are back for the second part of the video, finding out all kinds of things. You know, if nothing else, this is teaching us lessons about things we never knew. If I record a video, apparently, 30 minutes is the limit. So our first video was 30, and here we are for a second, since we are not done. Really quickly, what I was talking about and trying to say was that I don't mind the drawing, I don't mind the mistakes, I don't mind that some of those show up and never get painted out. In a lot of old Italian paintings, those are part of the studies, and those are called pentimenti, which, you know, is referring to the idea that they are the thoughts, they are the, you know, you trying to figure out the painting and trying to figure out what's going on, where do things go, placement, structure, tone. So as you go and figure those things out, you know, some of those things disappear and get sucked up into your painting, and other things just stay. You know, the momentary thought that you had stays as part of the painting, because it's the thought you had, and the gesture, the line, the shape, the mark you made. You know, it's beautiful to itself. It's, you know, you made a very perfect, great choice in that moment. So why paint over it? So I may have some of those moments as well, few and far between. We're not masters, but we aspire to be. We aspire to get there and to learn, to get better. All right, so for this part of the painting, I'm pretty happy with where we're at. So what I'm gonna do is move this over. We'll get rid of this guy. Bring out the other part of this. And I do have this cross over here. It is in my basement. That's why I picked it, or thought about trying to pick it. So I think I'm going to start with that. And, you know, this has it really, really close. I think I'm going to have it, you know, kind of close. Let's start to draw this out. I don't want it to get too close to the side. We're just kind of trying to figure out, you know, where is this going to go? How big is it going to be? How do we make this look like that wooden carved sculpture? And then what it has on top of it is a bunch of small little charms that are like hammered tin or steel, and you know, they have like some little varnish on them, and they're all like nailed to this cross, which I kind of like. And I don't know why I chose flames. Part of it might have to do more with the fact that one of the previous paintings in this series that I did had water as an element. So, you know, trying to think about the whole group of them as a series, having some fire, some water. You know, the other thought that I had that it could be is maybe some smoke or something like that. And I may still go with the smoke instead of fire, but I like these shapes that it makes that from the tattoo, and that's what I want to inspire me is the shapes, the layout of that. So that's kind of the cross shape. We got that. Let's move on to some of the interior details. So in the middle of this, there's a picture. I'm not sure what all the things are here around it, and I'm not sure that I really care to make all of them very obvious. Some of them look like torches, some of them look like other hammered metal things, like some of them are a face or a heart. I think I want those, but some of the ones around here are kind of more mysterious. But in the very middle, there's this picture, so I'm making this round because there's kind of a halo, and it's around an old painting of Michael the Archangel. I don't know if I'm going to get there, but I'm going to just kind of leave it as is. I think it might be also interesting. The last painting I did, in the middle of Sacred Heart, I had an eyeball. I could probably also pull that off here, like a more realistic eyeball. So maybe I'll draw that out. Not that I'm going to necessarily have to paint it that way, but if it looks more like an eyeball, I can kind of guess at what does it look like and do I like how it looks. Is that something that might work? Which I think it might. I might actually end up making it a little bit bigger, but I like there's a little charm up here that is hammered tin or whatever, silver, and it's a hand reaching out. I like that one for sure. I like this other one that's like a face over here. I think if I were to do a face on this side, I think I would really try to make it look like Mother Mary, maybe, just because it's a cross. And then this one, to me, not that I know that that's what it is, but it kind of looks like the Sacred Heart of Jesus. So I like the idea of that being on that side. So you got Mother Mary on one side, you got Sacred Heart, you've got a hand. At the very bottom, it looks like a very simplified kind of donkey, which I definitely like that for some reason. Some other little things in here, over here, over here, like little charms. I'm going to leave that there with that. And let's start in on some of this, these flames or the smoke, because that's something that I don't know. It's something about the curves. It's something about how those lines move. I just like it. I like the flow of it. I like it just aesthetically. It just is something I enjoy immensely. I don't know that I could really get super into painting a river or painting a lake or an ocean necessarily, but something about like the flow of these, smoke or water or flames, I just like it. And I don't mind that it's stylized and that it doesn't, just like it. Kind of combining. I'm not going to deny the fact that we had an artist come and visit a couple of years back, 5 years, 6 years back, who went to MV for a little while. Sean Barber, and he's a tattooer, painter, and I think some of this could come from, you know, looking at his work. I don't think my work looks like his work, but there's little elements that I wouldn't deny. Maybe just kind of bubble into what I'm working on or what I like. And the marks I'm making, I'm not going to really fill them in necessarily. Let's make some of these look like fire precisely and see if that's something that feels right. A lot of this feels kind of derivative of, you know, something Japanese tattoo style or woodblock. I think that's kind of what pulls me in, is, you know, art that is drawn off of and inspired by older art that I really like. This might work. I like how the Japanese ancient printmaking artists, you know, depicted water and all those kind of like fingers of water flowing and moving and swooping all over things. Do I want to put the hand in here? I think it does need something, and I do think that the hand is going to work. So I'm going to try for it. At least draw it in at this point and see if I like it. So there's a finger up there. There's another one kind of poking out and over to the side here. Again, we see some of it, not all of it. The more that goes back towards the cross is shadow. So I'm kind of just drawing the fingers here, and then the pinky comes down near the bottom. I don't mind that so far. And you see a little bit of the hand here, and then it kind of comes down to the palm. The palm comes down. And I might have to print out a nicer version of a lot of this, or have my picture out more precisely when I go to paint it. But we're just in a block in drawing phase. It's okay that we don't have every little bit here. It's the tip of the thumb. We go up from the point of the thumb to that first knuckle, come down to the next. Get the knuckle, get that other part. And this is going to start to come in. I don't like this hand too much, as far as I like. plotted it out. Doesn't feel good or correct or right to me, but I'm kind of just going to fill a lot of it in and see if I can get somewhat close and then worry about finishing it and making it more something I like a little bit later on. And I might even trim the bottom of this cross in just a little bit. Just fill those in, get a little more shading in there. It's gonna look kind of like a hand. kinda, sorta. But, hands are tricky. They take time to figure out all the parts and make it look correct. If I get it pretty close, then that should be good. This is all in shadow up underneath the cross there. If I can get maybe the wrist, the structure of the wrist, to get that, the curve of the backside of the thumb, and then grab that into this part of the radius. Maybe it doesn't get perfect right now, but you can kind of have that angle contrast the angle of, the neck's going this way, this wrist is going this way, so we get kind of like a V. That's always kind of a nice element. A triangular, upside down triangle, kind of pointing you and leading you up into that part of this. Man, it's kind of looking like it. We'll see. Yeah, it's not bad. I'm not going to go too much longer. I think I'm getting about at the end of my time that I've got for tonight. Don't want to actually go all the way through if I can avoid it, at least for just this. I'll come back and do something for the alternate tools and some of these other paintings. Haven't even pulled them out or looked at them. I don't think this is 100% dry, but this is where that was left last time, so I'm going to go in and do a couple more things with a couple more tools, and then maybe start in with my brush and kind of try to finish that one up. The palette knife painting, we didn't go too far because I didn't have a palette knife, but haha, I found a couple, so I've got those to maybe go in and do that. I'm thinking that's going to probably go till next week. And then if you saw the other painting, I worked on this for the cultural series. It was a still life, and I might go in and start to paint on this a little bit. Probably not this week, but we're gonna keep going. You got a stegosaurus, a giraffe, and then a flower and a vase in the middle. So kind of simple, and we'll add some other colors into it. Yeah, I'm not minding this hand now. I'm thinking that's kind of working. Um, let's pull in our reference one more time because I do want to kind of get in some of this. Kind of like the idea of pulling some of these flame shapes and these fire smoke shapes into this off of that wrist and that area. Some of these shapes I'm repeating, or I'm kind of like stretching them out and trying to repurpose it. I might be able to paint a lot of this in with, you know, some whites and some lighter values, and then go through and add that in, you know, glaze in the fire, or keep it more gray and smoky, and just kind of decide at that point. Go get a little bit of that over there on that side. You know, once you start to get a feel for how that's going to move, you can kind of ad-lib some of your shapes. So that's probably about it. Maybe real quick before we end with this video, let's just try out a little bit of white on here to make sure that we see it and we kind of know what it is. So this is Dollar Rouney's FW acrylic ink. I took an online class with Scott Fisher at Smart School. We're going on almost 3 years, I guess, maybe more. But he was really big on it. He likes to paint on top of some plastic paper, which his name is escaping me. I shouldn't forget what it's called, but I have. So he uses this ink, and since I've started using it, I really do like it. It's great. I'm going to just play around with this eye, maybe just see if I can make it look more realistic, and see if that's something I want to do. And that's looking pretty good. I like the addition of the white. I don't know how that, it feels a little too intense and too strong to include in the sculpture, but yeah, maybe if I wipe it down, I can do a little bit of it. I like that amount of it. You know, and a little bit of highlight up on this part of the nose. I can a little bit, wipe it down, show the light of the happens at the edge of the nose. It's always a good highlight to include. I think that's going to make it look a little bit better. Top of the lip. Top of the nose, the ball of the nose here. Soften some of those edges. Get maybe a little bit of the labella here, the top bridge of the nose where the nasal bone is, catches a lot of light. It's really bright. Yeah, I think that feels like it's gonna work. We can make it look like um, some sculpture. A couple little other parts here, and then I'm thinking I'm gonna be done with this. But this kind of starts to give us an idea about how it can look, things we can do. Maybe we'll do a little bit of the flames really quick after. Maybe I get a little bit of this highlight that's gonna hit some of those edges, just to maybe top a little bit of that sculpture feel. Alright, let's do a couple quick little flame shapes and see if that is something that's gonna look good. So I'm kind of using the brush. This is a big kind of like lettering brush, pinstriping brush. It's made for mostly like acrylic paint or something like that. This is by Kafka. I like it because it's like a really long rigger script brush. It has really long bristles, can pull a really tight, nice line. Maybe this can be painted out later if we don't like it, but let's try to get a little bit of this in here. See if we can see what it might look like. I think that's gonna work. I think that's gonna be nice, and I think I don't have to choose whether it's smoke or choose whether it's fire for now. I can just kind of build it up aesthetically, kind of layer it a little bit. And I may be even able to do something where I paint most of this with acrylic and then go in and bring the oils on top to get, you know, the bright glazy moments where I really want to pop in some color. So, I think that's it for tonight. We'll have another video soon. Thank you for watching.